Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Shinvitam Swakanta Krishna Punyashravana Kirtanaha Hrudayantasto hi abhadrani vidunoti suhrutsatam नष्टप्राये शिवभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवते उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैस्तिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 10, verses 13 to 14. Verse 13. Auttanapadisa Shasravarshena Bhurina Nav ev Drishtya Channa Asarena Yathagiri. Synonyms: Auttanapadha, Dhruva Maharaja; Saha, he; Tada, at that time; Shasravarshena, by a shower of weapons; Bhurina, incessant; Na, not; Eva, certainly; Adrishya, was visible; Achannaha, being covered; Asarena, by constant rainfall; Yadha, as; Girihi, a mountain. Translation by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. Dhruva Maharaj was completely covered by an incessant shower of weapons, just as a mountain is covered by incessant rainfall. Purport: Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura points out in this connection that although Dhruva Maharaja was covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, this does not mean that he succumbed in the battle. The example of a mountain peaks being covered by incessant rain is just suitable, for when a mountain is covered by incessant rain, all dirty things are washed from the body of the mountain. Similarly, the incessant shower of arrows from the enemy gave Dhruva Maharaj new vigor to defeat them. In other words, whatever incompetency he might have had was washed away. Verse 14. Ahakaras-tada visit siddhanam divi pashyatam hatoyam manavaha suryo manaha punya janarnave. Ahakaraha, tumult of disappointments; tada, at that time; eva, certainly; asit, became manifest; siddhanam, of all the residents of Siddhaloka; divi, in the sky; pashyatam, who were observing the fight; hataha, killed; ayam, this; manavaha, grandson of Manu; suryaha, sun; magnaha, set; punyajana, of the yakshas; arnave, in the ocean. Translation by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. All the Siddhas from the higher planetary systems were observing the fight from the sky, and when they saw that Dhruva Maharaj had been covered by the incessant arrows of the enemy, they roared tumultuously, "The grandson of Manu, Dhruva, is now lost." They cried that Dhruva Maharaja was just like the sun, and that now he had set within the ocean of the yakshas. Purport by Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada. So in this verse, the word manava is very significant. Generally, this word is used to mean human being. Dhruva Maharaja is also described here as manava. Not only is Dhruva Maharaja a descendant of Manu, but all human society descends from Manu. According to Vedic civilization, Manu is the lawgiver. Even today, Hindus in India follow the laws given by Manu. Therefore, everyone in human society is a Manava or descendant from Manu. But Dhruva Maharaja is a distinguished Manava because he is a great devotee. The denizens of the planet Siddhaloka, where the residents can fly in the sky without aeroplanes, were anxious over Dhruva Maharaja's welfare in the battlefield. Srila Rupa Goswami says, therefore, that not only in a devotee well protected by the Supreme Lord, but all the demigods and even ordinary men are anxious for his security and safety. The comparison given here that Dhruva Maharaja appeared to merge in the ocean of the Yakshas is also significant. When the sun sets on the horizon, it appears that the sun drowns in the ocean. But factually, the sun has no difficulty. Similarly, although Dhruva Maharaja appeared to drown in the ocean of Yakshas, he had no difficulty. As the sun rises again in due course at the end of the night, so Dhruva Maharaja, although he might have been in difficulty, because after all it was a fight, and in any fighting activities there are reverses. That did not mean that he was defeated. Verse 15. Natadastu yatu dhaneshu jaya kashishvattaho mrude udatistada ratastasya niharad iva bhaskaraha. Natadsu, while exclaiming, Yatudhaneshu, the ghostly yakshas, Jaya Kashishu, proclaiming victory, Atho, then, Mrude, in the fighting, Udadistat appeared, Radhaha, the chariot, Tasya, of Dhruva Maharaja, Niharat, from the mist, Iva, like Bhaskaraha, the sun. Translation. The Yakshas, being temporarily victorious, exclaimed that they had conquered Dhruva Maharaja, but in the meantime, Dhruva Maharaja's chariot suddenly appeared, just as the sun suddenly appears from within foggy mist. Purport. Here Dhruva Maharaja is compared to the sun and the great assembly of the Yakshas for foggy mist. Fog is insignificant in comparison with the sun. Although the sun is sometimes seen to be covered by a fog, in fact, the sun cannot be covered by anything. Our eyes may be covered by a cloud, but the sun is never covered. By this comparison to the sun, the greatness of Dhruva Maharaja is all circumstances is affirmed. Verse 16. Dhanur Vishpurajan Divyam Dvisatam Kedam Udvahan Ashraugam Vyadamad Banir Gananikam Ivanikala. Danav, his bow, Vishpujan, Twaning, Divyam, wonderful, Dvisatam, of the enemies, Kedam, lamentation, Udvahan, creating, Asra Ogham, different types of weapons, Vedamat, he scattered, Banai, with his arrows, Ghana, of clouds, Anikam, an enemy, Iva, like Anila, the wind. Translation. Dhruva Maharaja's bow and arrows twanged and hissed, causing lamentation in the hearts of his enemies. He began to shoot incessant arrows, shattering all their different weapons, just as the blasting wind scattered the assembled clouds in the sky. Verse 17. Tasyate kapa nirmukta bitva varmani rakshasam kayan avibishustigma girin asanayo yatha. Synonyms. Tasya, of Dhruva, te, those, arrows, kapa, from the bow, nirmuktaha, released, bitva, having pierced, varmani, shields, rakshasam, of the demons, kayan, bodies. Avivishu entered Tigmaha, sharp, Girin, mountains, Asanaya, thunderbolt, Yadha, just like. Translation: the sharp arrows released from the bow of Dhruva Maharaja pierced the shields and bodies of the enemy, like the thunderbolts released by the King of Heaven, which dismantled the bodies of the mountains. Om Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I would like to seek blessings from all the assembled Vaishnavas and thank you for an opportunity to purify myself. Please forgive me for any shortcomings. So, we are in the fourth chapter, the creation of the fourth order, and the canto, and the chapter 10, Dhruva Maharaj's fight with the Yakshas. Just to have a quick recap, Dhruva Maharaj's younger brother, Uttama, went for hunting excursion and he was killed by a powerful Yakshas in the Himalayas mountain. And later his stepmother Surichi also passed away. So these incidents made Dhruva Maharaj very angry and immediately went to Alkapuri, the capital of the Yakshas in the Himalayas mountains. And Dhruva Maharaj started killing the Yakshas with his powerful weapons. And by seeing these, the Yakshas got very fearful, and at the same time they got very angry and tried to attack Dhruva Maharaj with a massive force. The Yaksha soldiers were almost like 130,000, and they attacked with different weapons like iron bludgeons and swords, tridents and lances, pikes and spears. And there are so many other weapons they used to attack the Dhruva Maharaj. So the verse 13 talks about how the weapons covered the Dhruva Maharaj and his chariot. Imagine like 130,000 soldiers are attacking one person with various weapons. It appears that Dhruva Maharaj and his chariot was completely covered with these weapons. And it appeared that Dhruva Maharaj is temporarily lost to Yakshas, but Dhruva Maharaj fought back and subdued all the weapons. And Prabhupada gave a good example here that when there is a heavy downpour, you may not see the mountain clearly. However, once the rain stops, you can see more clearly than before, because the rain washes away all the debris and dried leaves and others, and now it becomes more clearly visible. So here we can apply this into our lives as well. So we all go through ups and downs in our life, and sometimes we feel worthless or we face constant hitbacks or criticism. So we should not be disappointed. We need to have faith in the Supreme that Krishna will protect me no matter what circumstances I am in. Here, if you look at the battle between Yakshas and Dhruva Maharaj, it is impossible for a Dhruva Maharaj to win the battle without Krishna's support. But Krishna always gives credit to his disciples. Even in Kurukshetra war, Arjuna defeated Bhishma, Karna, Drona, and other great warriors with the help of Krishna only. Even though Krishna did not use any weapon to fight along with Arjuna, but Krishna's unlimited energies favored Arjuna to win the battle, because all these energies works under the Supreme Personality direction. So in Bhagavad Gita 9.10, Krishna says, Maya dakshena prakritihi sutaya characharam hetu Nanena Kaunteya Jagat Viparivartante. This material nature, which is one of my energies, is working under my direction. O son of Kunti, producing all moving and non-moving beings. Under its rule, this manifestation is created, annihilated again and again. So coming back to the verse, after the bombardment of several weapons, Dhruva Maharaja became more resilient and determined to win the battle. And in the next verse talks about what is spectators of the war and who are the spectators of the war. And demigods like Siddhas are watching this fight and they are curious about the war. Though they saw that Dhruva Maharaja is completely covered by the weapons, they have a confidence that he will emerge out as a winner. And Prabhupada gave a nice analogy here that during the sunset, it looks like the sun is submerging into the ocean when we watch from the seashore. But next day, it emerges out from the other side. Similarly, Siddhas are confident that Dhruva Maharaja will be victorious. So when you become devotee, not only Krishna, but everyone like demigods, other devotees, always looks for the welfare of the devotee who is going through difficult situation. And Krishna appreciates your service more if you help the fellow devotee who is in need of spiritual or material support. And Krishna does not need any service from anyone. But out of causeless mercy, he accepts our service, how tiny it might be, and he rewards in a greater value. And we know this from the story of Sudama. And coming to the verse 15, it talks about the Yakshas after delivering the massive artillery at Dhruva Maharaj. They assumed that they defeated the Dhruva Maharaj, but in no time, Dhruva Maharaj emerged out from the shower of artillery like cloud shattered by the wind. So here we have to understand one thing. No matter in what difficult situation one is in, he will come out victorious or will come out from the difficult situation with Krishna's help. This was proved multiple times. We can look into the Prahlad Maharaj and Ambarish Maharaj stories. Only one thing we need is unflickering faith in Krishna. The verse 16 and 17 talks about how Dhruva Maharaj dismantled the Yaksha weapons and his weapons killed the enemies. So in conclusion, when we have an unwavering faith and when we serve Supreme Personality unconditionally, no matter what difficult situation are we in, Krishna will rescue. And Bhagavad Gita 9.31 says, Shipram bhavati dharmatma sashva shatim nigachati kaunteya pratijanani name bhakta pranashyati. Quickly they become victorious and attain lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that no devotee of mine is ever lost. And with this, I conclude. So, Vancha Kalpatarubhyacha, Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.